I'm Justin Moore. Welcome to Creator Wizard, your step-by-step guide to the business of being a creator. I've been a creator for close to 10 years, and along with my wife April, we have over 1.5 million followers across all of our family's social platforms. I also run an agency that helps bring brand deals to family-friendly creators. I've personally worked on over 500 brand deals, and through my agency have paid out over $2 million to creators. So today, I wanted to talk about where brand deals come from. So more and more frequently, brands are reaching out to creators directly to forge partnerships. Pretty much all major brands have someone handling influencer marketing now. So they're getting much more sophisticated at doing campaigns with creators. So you're also seeing a lot of brands shift from campaign-based, typically kind of one-off partnerships to, or something that they're only doing 1 or 2 times a year, to what's called always-on campaigns, where they're working with creators every single month doing sustained promotion. So the next most likely place that a brand deal will come from are their advertising or PR agencies. These are agencies like Ketchum or Edelman. A lot of brands still outsource creator partnerships to their agencies. Traditionally, most would argue that creator/influencer/celebrity kind of ambassadorships have always been the purview of PR agencies. It's really important to understand as a creator how most agencies approach media. So there's 3 types, and the first is called earned media. This is when the press, like journalists or other media publications, talk about a brand totally organically, and this is unpaid, right? These can be super significant, and these mentions are really, really prized. This could also take the form of a brand sending, let's say, free product to a creator or an influencer in exchange for a review. The next is owned media. These are the channels a brand has control over, like their website and to some degree their social media. They have the handles, obviously, but technically the social media platforms own it, but they are able to, publish content there. And so the third type is paid media. Traditionally you'd think of TV commercials or billboards or ads in magazines as paid media, but now there are paid Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and especially paying creators like you to make content. And there is another type of agency that most larger brands have called media agencies, and brand deals can come from them too. Horizon Media is an example. These agencies often run a point on how and where the brand should advertise holistically, right? So like how much money should they spend in each of these buckets and so on. More and more media agencies are creating influencer marketing or branded content divisions to work with creators. Another place that brand deals can come from, influencer marketing agencies. These agencies work exclusively on connecting brands with creators. It can get a little confusing because sometimes influencer agencies will not work directly with the brand, but rather the brand's PR agency or media agency to execute the deal. This typically happens because the brand or the agency doesn't have the ability to activate all the creators it wants to at scale. Maybe they want to partner with 100 micro influencers or 30 mid-tier creators, and they just don't have the capacity to do it themselves. So my agency, Trending Family, is like this, where we'll partner with a brand on their overall creative and their platform strategy. We'll help them identify the best creators to work with. We'll help them coordinate the campaign, ensure the creators are making the best content possible, making sure everything goes up on time and it's correct, and so on. And brand deals can also come from influencer platforms. There are companies out there which are more like software platforms, which allow brands to create their own accounts and create a campaign that creators can apply to work on. And this includes platforms like Influence Central, Grapevine Logic, and more. One of the most interesting dynamics that has emerged is that all of these different types of players are kind of fighting it out in a turf war for all of this influencer marketing money. For agencies especially, their business models have been changing over the last number of years. Before, they used to be retained by brands as what's called the agency of record, or AOR, for these brands, and paid a monthly retainer. This is still the case for a lot of the larger brands, but many have started shifting to what's called project-based relationships, where they don't pay them a monthly fee, and instead they pay them for each project that is completed. So it's much harder for the agencies to forecast revenue and manage their employee headcount and so on. And so when influencer marketing came on the scene and started growing in popularity, all of these different entities saw an opportunity to win back some of the money that they'd been losing in other areas. So who is the best to work with? As a creator, money is green to some degree, right? And that's part of the beauty of being a creator, is you have a distribution channel that so many different folks want to tap into. So if it's the brand directly, or their agency, or an influencer agency, or even a platform, as long as they're compensating you fairly, it shouldn't really matter. I will say though that the best case scenario is really to have contact directly with the brand, right? Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who ultimately control the budgets and they have the decision-making power. With PR agencies, the biggest challenge is there can be a lot of turnover. So I always recommend, even with the brands, directly with the brands, I'm trying to get at least 2 contacts there. With influencer agencies, it's much more likely that they're trying to work with you on a one-off deal rather than like a long-term partnership. And that's just the nature of the types of projects that they do. And that's kind of the same with influencer platforms. And also, just from a compensation perspective, the more middlemen that are in between the brand and you, typically the less money you will see, right? And so that's just another good reason to try to work with brands directly if you can. So please leave a comment down below if you have any questions about the creator/influencer marketing landscape or the business side of being a creator. If you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, click that notification bell so you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video, and you are one step closer to becoming a creator wizard.